As we develop as a musician, our identity evolves. However, due to lack of awareness about our self-labeling or self-definition, sometimes it can be conflicting between our professional identity and the things that we are doing. When problem arises, we are lack of skill sets to cope with the issues because we do not know who we are to deal with those issues. The purpose of this video is to help musicians, especially singers, to give you a little more information about how to manage yourself internally and pair with the things that we can do externally so that we can feel more empowered and aligned between the outer and the inner worlds. I want to share with you a little bit about how I evolved as a musician. When I was still a student, I was a soloist singing in opera productions and all sorts of voice recital. After I graduated, I teach in school choirs, and then from that time, subconsciously I abandoned my personal singing development. I invested a lot of time for the students' development, and I thought that was the reality. While I was still teaching in choir, I started my conducting journey. And then now I am a conductor. I thought I need to listen to the pieces that conductor listen to. I thought I have to be like a conductor. And up to a point, I was quite stressful of all things. I think you might heard of this word that when your passion becomes your professional, it is no more your passion. Even when you don't like it, you have to do it because that is your professional. There was a point that I don't feel any passion in singing. There's no fire at all. I didn't even bother to stand on the stage. I thought to myself, why did I learn singing at the first place? That was because I want to become a singer, because I want to become a celebrity when I was still in my secondary school. And thanks to the great invention, internet, we now have a lot of resources about self-development. From there, I come to a point to learn about self-labeling and self-definition. And this is something very close to self-validation. I also learned about this word called self-sabotage. And remember the story that I told you just now? At that time, I thought I was either a singer or either a choir teacher or I can just be a conductor. But in our life, we can have it all. We do not need to sabotage ourselves by just picking one. And that is when I started to embrace all my identity as a singer, as a chorister, as a choir teacher, as a choir conductor, and in my class, I am an orchestral conductor. And on YouTube, I am a producer, and when I was producing music, I am a music producer, and I am a home producer. I started to claim all this identity, and I started to feel aligned with what I am doing. The things that I do might not be perfect, but because I am using the approach of life learning, and today I might not be perfect, but next year I probably will improve. So with that vision, I am motivated to move forward. And there's another thing that enlightened me to move forward is I have a student, her parents look upon her very much. And I thought to myself, oh, it will be great if my parents push me that way too. But now I am an adult. I don't think I have the chance to be pushed that way. But since I'm an adult, now why not I approve myself and let myself have the second chance to develop? Maybe I am lacking in certain skills. Maybe I'm still lacking in some part of my personality. I want to parent myself. That is what I can do. And from that perspective, I become more empowered for personal development, and especially as a singer, as a musician. When we start to look upon ourselves, we will have a long-term goal and a short-term goal. The short-term goal is usually the actual things, the real thing that we do. For example, singing practice, go to classes, things like this. And when we are doing things to develop ourselves, we have proof to show to ourselves that we are developing And then from there, we can have ability to filter all sorts of comments and feedback. We have the ability to choose to accept and improve ourselves more, or to let go those feedbacks that is not true to our current reality. And because we have proofs for ourselves, then we won't have that urge to compare ourselves with other people because we know our path. Sometimes our mental state is not stable. We are not always happy and we are not always at our highest state of mind. So when we look back at these proofs, we are more secure because we are investing the time and energy to what we are doing. The last thing I want to share with you is affirmation. Like I said just now, our state of mind is not always at the highest point. So sometimes we will get discouraged with circumstances or situations or feedback from other people. And then, even though we know that is not true, but we will get affected sometimes. So learning affirmation, have an affirmation session for ourselves is very important. I would like to take an example of the virtual vocalize project. The time when I decided to join the international competition, my neighbor started their renovation project that will last for 1 month or plus. The renovation is still going on. There are drills happening and the noise is really terrible. And my house is my studio to do all recordings and mixing and a lot of thinking stuff. But with that noise, I cannot focus. I cannot do my recording. And I was really frustrated because the deadline of the competition is really close. That time, a lot of things is still uncertain. I still cannot get any pianist to play for me that time, and the music is not finalized yet, and things are happening next door, and I was really frustrated. And in the talk, self-doubt started to arise. See, you can't do the recording. You don't have time to do recording. You cannot even find a pianist yet. By the time you find pianist, how can you do the recording? Where are you going to do the recording? And even you do the recording already, how can you mix with such noise? And I was so stressful, and because of the stress, there's a week that I keep waking up at 4 a.m. and that was very stressful. So I was so lonely. Nobody can understand me. So YouTube is the best person I can refer to. And so I accidentally found an affirmation video, and that affirmation is about self-image and letting go. So that's one thing that impacted me the most is I matter. The things that I do matters. At least it matters to myself, my personal development, because I was telling my parents, I was telling my family and friends, my students about my vision, about myself. And now, just because of the renovation that is without my control, and I stopped all my projects, I stopped all my visions about myself, no way. So I started to think, okay, we have to be flexible. The thing must go on. Why not we look for a way to solve this problem? And then I thought it could be troublesome to move my computers, my monitors, my hard disk, my mic stands, and everything to another place to do the recording. But I am gonna do it. Nothing is gonna stop me from completing this project. It maybe is not going to be perfect, but I will finish my task. But you know what? I managed to finish the recording in 1 day after, 1 day, I think, after Zhongxin handed in his music accompaniment. But you know what? After I completed recording and mixing and handed in the music to the organization, the renovation next door seems like stopped for a week. There's no noise at all. I was like, if I know it earlier, I won't rush my progress. Anyway, I handed in my work. I have done the things that I promised myself. I didn't abandon myself, and I enjoy my peaceful week. The inspiration of making this video is that I want to help my younger self. Could be you who are watching this video. I would like to encourage you to develop yourself, not just a singer, but as a musician, and be brave to claim different identity, and be brave to take on the responsibility that you wish you can, but you are afraid of. Don't be afraid. It is going to be difficult. Realize that, and slowly it will take time to walk through the process. And I just want to say, you can do it, because I am on my way. So you can do it.